We want to switch gears because coming up in the day ahead, Prince George's County leaders will be voting on those plans for the new casino at the National Harbor.
All right, this is the MGM casino that we're talking about, and our Jeanette Reyes is live at National Harbor for us this morning with more now on this all-important vote today. Jeanette?
Very important. Good morning to you, Autria. All eyes on Prince George's County officials this morning on that proposed casino here at National Harbor. In just hours, Prince George's County Council will take a vote regarding land use. The vote was supposed to be taken last week, but that was postponed because 3 members were not present. But ladies, this is a critical step in the process here because MGM needs council approval to ask for construction and other permits for the $925 million complex. We know that the Nevada-based company has begun preliminary work on the site, prepping the land and removing utilities. Some traffic lanes in the area have been closed off and construction equipment is on site and ready to go. This proposal is viewed as a major economic development deal that will generate thousands of jobs and millions of dollars for the county and state. Of course, that all depends on whether or not this goes through. That meeting is set for 10 o'clock this morning. We do know that it is expected to go in favor of MGM. If that is the case, construction could begin as soon as next month with the grand opening set for July of 2016. We will let you know what that vote turns out to be coming up at noon. Reporting live at National Harbor, Jeanette Reyes, ABC 7 News.
All right, Jeanette, thank you. 6:34, and a federal judge plans to rule on a challenge to the proposed merger of the Corcoran Gallery with 2 larger institutions. The group representing some students, alumni, donors, and faculty want the merger stopped, saying the Corcoran could survive as an independent museum with better management. The plan calls for the Corcoran to merge with George Washington University and the National Gallery of Art.
Okay, at 6:34 now, we want to get back to our top story this morning, and that is the opening of the Silver Line, which is now just days away. And as we said, they are doing those test runs today.
And our John Gonzalez is live on the train this morning with how this might impact your commute. John?
Good morning, ladies. We are live on an Orange Line train right now. We just got to the Clarendon Metro stop. We're headed to New Carrollton, and there are 2 goals today. One, for me to not fall on live TV as this train's moving. The second is for Metro to have another successful simulation run today. They did it all day yesterday, the new Silver Line running for employees only, so they get acclimated, they get to know the route, which is of course going to start at East Falls Church. 5 stops, 4 of them running in and through Tyson's Corner, and of course for now the last stop on the new Silver Line will be Weston. I say for now because phase 2 will of course include the Dulles International Airport. If you come over here, Joe, you see the new board here with the, sorry, so we're making you move there real quick. You see the Silver Line there running through? There's the new color right there, the new color scheme, as the new Silver Line will open to the public on Saturday. And this gentleman here from Bull Run, this is Tim Dial. You might be running, using this Silver Line perhaps.
It's possible, you bet.
Tell me about the idea here. It took a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of years of construction, and we're just days away for all of us to be riding this new line.
Real quick item here. I've been on this line, and this is the first time speaking with you that I can hear our operators. I can hear clearly where we are headed. I've been running this line in and back and forth.
The Orange Line.
Yes.
Silver Line, a good idea? Does it work for you?
It does. Hopefully they'll have operators you can understand, you know, where you're headed. Otherwise, it's garbled. I would hate to be a person coming out of LA and riding the line and trying to find a place.
All right, Johnny G riding the rails for us this morning. We knew his shot was a little shaky because he was actually inside a Metro car. So,
and it is moving. All right. Well, 6:36, and today President Obama will award the Medal of Honor to a veteran who showed unparalleled courage.
Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Pitts risked his life to save fellow troops in Afghanistan. In 2008, about 200 Taliban insurgents attacked his unit. Well, after surviving a grenade explosion, Pitts tossed back grenades at the enemy. Despite his leg injuries, he used a grenade launcher to take out as many Taliban as he could. The battle claimed the lives of 9 U.S. soldiers. Pitts survived and is now a proud father. Congratulations. All right, well, charges mounting against the California bank robbery suspect involved in that deadly hostage chase and then the shootout with police.
Still ahead on Good Morning Washington, what prosecutors plan to charge him with today. 6:37 now, 69 degrees. We'll be right back.
My name is Kirk Smart from Prince George's County Fire Department, and I'd like to make sure everybody has a safe summer, and we like to say, good morning, Washington!
And we would like to say good morning to all of our Prince George's County firefighters that are waking up with us this morning as well. Hey, Brian.
Hey, good morning. It is 6:41 out there. We have some clouds. We also have a lot of traffic. We'll talk to Jack in just a second. A few of those clouds providing a couple of sprinkles, but I don't think that's what's causing the issues out there this morning. Let's hop over to the maps and break it down for you here at 6:41. 73 degrees right now downtown. A little bit of a breeze out of the east-southeast. When you get that easterly push, it can definitely lead to some extra clouds. Now, I don't think it's going to be a rainy day, despite the fact that Mrs. Vandergraff just called and said, is it going to rain? I didn't dress the kids for rain. I don't think it's going to be a rainy day. Big picture shows that high pressure will nudge in from the north later in the day. I think there'll be an isolated shower mainly to the west of the city later this afternoon. In fact, the next couple of days, shower chances are quite isolated. Notice temperatures will be climbing. I think we'll get the warmest by Wednesday, low to mid 90s. Thursday, a bit stormy, and then behind it, refreshing for Friday and Saturday. All right, let's talk about what's happening out there this morning. Things are heating up. Now let's check in with Jack.
Ooh, Brian, it's been one of those mornings as you head out of Frederick, Maryland. It is snake bit this morning, ride 270 south of I-70 headed down toward the crash at 109. There had been an early accident that was after the weigh scales. Everything was moved over to the left shoulder. Now a new crash within the delay. Unfortunately, you've still got only the right lane getting by. Experiencing that slow traffic again as you head south. This had been upwards of an hour ride, getting a little bit better. Now it may go south again. Our map shows from I-70 down toward 109 now 48 minutes. That was up to 58 earlier, but that's when all lanes were open. So now the new complication with the crash in the left lane. 295 moving into the district, headed from Eastern Avenue down toward the 11th. Starting to fill in pretty quickly now, but all travel lanes are open. Same situation trying to move out of Gainesville, headed through Manassas on 66. Just volume, and then thankfully, not a lot of sun glare this morning, so that may assist the ride headed toward 495. Jumi, Autry, back into you.
Okay, Jack, thank you. Well, coming up, police in Virginia asking for your help finding a missing woman.
Plus, it's another chapter for the dumb criminal file. We love these. How a girl's Facebook picture landed her in jail. 6:43 is your time. It is 70 degrees on your Monday morning. Here's another look at today's forecast.
We are born makers, so we went the extra mile and made a car that does the same. Introducing the first and only midsize sedan with a standard 9-speed transmission. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Things have changed.
Well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2015 200 Limited for $199 a month.
You're watching ABC7's Good Morning Washington with Autria Godfrey, Jumi Olabanji, and Jackie Jarris Weather. This is Good Morning Washington on your side.
And a very good morning. Brian Vandergraff in for Jackie this morning. Take a look at your watering forecast. Jackie, let's share with you. We'll pass it along to you. Forecast for rain the next couple of days, really isolated. Well, a couple of sprinkles this morning, isolated shower storm each and every afternoon today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Our best chance comes for Thursday of this week. So I think if you have something out there that you really think needs some water, I'd probably go ahead and pull out the hose. We'll talk about the rest of the week's forecast coming up in just a bit. Ladies, back to you.
Jack, thank you. 6:45 is your time right now.
And a team of international monitors is scheduled to visit the Malaysia Airlines crash site in eastern Ukraine later on today.
The team also plans to visit Torres, where a refrigerated train is what's being used to store the victims' bodies. Meanwhile, the U.S. presented what it calls powerful evidence that pro-Russian rebels shot down the plane with surface-to-air missiles.
Metro's Silver Line is set to open this Saturday, and test runs are taking place today for a second straight day. Trains still aren't carrying any passengers, though. The test runs are giving all those Metro workers a chance to get used to the new route. Some Metro riders may be impacted today. There will be fewer trains on the orange and blue lines, and they'll go through the Roslyn Tunnel to make way for the Silver Line.
The Prince George's County Council is set to vote today on the building plan for the new MGM casino at National Harbor. The vote is considered the last main hurdle to clear before construction can begin. If the measure passes, the casino is on track to open July of 2016. And at 6:46 now, we want to get a check of other news from around the region. Alexandria police say they have found a woman who went missing last week. Hannah Covington was last seen Wednesday evening on Rickenbacker Avenue. Earlier this morning, police say that Covington was found in good condition.
Officials in Annapolis are about to start construction on a new water treatment plant. Groundbreaking on the $35 million facility is set for today. The new plant will be adjacent to the current one, which dates back to 1929. The old facility has severe mechanical, structural, and electrical problems and is on the brink of failure.
Around the nation now, cooler weather and lighter winds are helping firefighters in Washington state. Crews are now focusing on several wildfires in the central and eastern part of the state. The largest fire destroyed 150 structures. Temperatures are expected to drop into the 70s this week, but while the weather is improving, some towns remain without power and they have limited landline and cell phone service.
4 people are dead this morning after a small plane crashed in Sedona, Arizona, setting off a wildfire there. That fire burned about 20 acres. The FAA says hikers in the Bear Mountains first reported the accident. Searchers found the wreckage about 3 hours later.
6:47 and jury selection begins today in Detroit in the trial of a man who shot and killed a woman who had been pounding on his door. You remember this made national news. It happened in the early morning hours last November, several hours after she crashed her car. Authorities say Renisha McBride had been drinking. Theodore Waffer's attorney says that he shot her because he feared for his safety, but prosecutors say that he could have remained in his locked house and called 911.
A California man is facing new charges stemming from a deadly bank robbery and police chase in Stockton last week. You remember that video? 19-year-old Jamie Ramos now faces 3 counts of murder. Police say Ramos used 2 other men used 3 hostages as human shields during that robbery. One of the hostages died during a shootout. Police say Ramos also killed 2 police officers. Officers shot and killed the 2 other would-be robbers. And the probate trial on the future of the Los Angeles Clippers resumes today. At issue, whether a deal negotiated by Donald Sterling's estranged wife to sell the team is authorized under a Sterling family trust. Sterling agreed to the sale, but he then tried to revoke consent in spite of a signed letter. In it, he instructed his wife to sell for the highest price she could get. All right, 6:48. And if you're going to steal something, you might not want to let the cyber world really know about it, right?
You would think this would be common sense, but police in Illinois say that they managed to track down a shoplifting suspect through her Facebook account. Take a look. Police say 27-year-old Danielle Saxton posted Facebook photos. That's her mugshot. We'll show you the photo here in just a second. They show her wearing the clothing that had been stolen from a local boutique. Well, the store's owner, there it is, posted information about the theft on Facebook, and people who saw Saxton's photos recognized the clothes and then turned her in.
Okay, well, a family in Central Florida is out of its home because of a giant sinkhole. It's 120 feet wide and 30 feet deep.
Yeah, the sinkhole opened up in Spring Hill. This is in Hillsborough County. If you remember, that is the same county where a Florida man died last year after a sinkhole opened up underneath his bedroom. Crews may be filling this latest sinkhole with sand and cement. Well, there was cause for celebration this weekend in drought-stricken Central California, which got its first rain in more than 2 months. The rainfall in Bakersfield didn't really amount to much, but it was the first precipitation there since May 6th. All but one of the state's 58 counties have been designated federal disaster areas because of the drought. And a record-setting first pitch at the San Diego Padres game.
Love this one. With an underhand delivery, she winds it up. And she goes. 105-year-old Agnes McGee became the oldest person to toss the ceremonial first pitch at a Padres game. McGee says she never went to any Padres games because they never won.
Ooh, Agnes.
Hey, she's keeping it real. Agnes practiced pitching with staffers at her retirement community.
Well, she's got an arm on her.
Yeah, she was. I read the story about her. She was definitely practicing for quite a time leading up to this, and
she was
learning the roster. She said she wanted to make sure she knew the players' names in case they came up and talked to her. So
oh,
it was really
so
cute.
sweet. And
yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. She gave 50 Cent a run for his money when it comes to that pitch.
Sure
You nailed it, Agnes.
Sure did. I love it.
Underhand or not, it was a solid pitch.
Yeah.
She got it done.
Good
hey,
for her.
Weather-wise, we're going to get it done the next couple of days. Nothing too extreme. We will have some humidity creeping back in here, and it's just going to start feeling more July-like by Wednesday. But then as quickly as we warm up, we cool back down again, such is the case for our pattern this summertime. All right, outside this morning, a couple of sprinkles on the radar. You have to look really close to see these little blips on the radar, little green blips here and there, mainly off to the west this morning. Nothing too widespread and nothing too major happening across the area. Here's our live camera from our WeatherBug Network over in Laurel, over at St. Vincent Pallotti High School. And there are a lot of clouds out there this morning. In fact, a lot of locations seeing a lot of clouds. 73 right now over in Culpeper, 71 Bethesda, 69 downtown, 68 over in Waldorf. So we do have some clouds streaming overhead. Our winds are more out of the east-southeast, and that easterly component does keep a fair amount of cloudiness around. There's kind of a stalled boundary down through the Carolinas. High pressure to the northeast. It'll nudge southward through the afternoon and through the next couple of days. There could be a couple of storms this afternoon, but our best chance really is lining up west of town out in the mountains. And then as we continue to go through the next couple of days, heat and humidity will continue to build up from the south and west. It'll be hot, it'll be sticky, but each and every day our storm chances are rather minimal. They really will increase Thursday as our next big system swings through town. Once that happens on Thursday, showers become more numerous, and then we should see a little bit of a turn in the pattern for later in the week. So mid-80s for highs this afternoon, just a stray storm to the west, a little bit more humidity, and sunshine somewhat limited. I think the sprinkles mainly confined to this morning. Tonight, scattered clouds, muggy and mild with 60s in the western suburbs, 70s downtown. It does appear, though, as we go through the next couple of days, we'll get a little more heat by tomorrow, closer to 90. Once again, storm chances rather minor through the afternoon. Your 7-day outlook kind of showing that pattern there with that isolated daily storm threat. But by the time we get into Thursday, showers and storm chances really do increase somewhat, and then a little more refreshing for Friday and Saturday. Not too bad. Let's peek at the forecast. Jack, lay it on us.
Oh, it is not. Your forecast is better than the traffic in Maryland right now. 270 southbound remains pretty solid from Frederick, headed all the way down to 109. News Chopper 7 flying over this huge delay. The good news is the crash remains over on the left shoulder, so we do have travel lanes now getting by. State police and a couple cars are still there. Nonetheless, it has caused slowdowns. Our times holding pretty steady from I-70 down to 109. This had been up as high as 58, and about 15 minutes ago it was around 48, so you're still holding with a delay. Now the top side of the Beltway, still 95 to Georgia, solid. All travel lanes are open there. In Virginia, the inner loop of the Beltway just north of I-66, minus the pole shot, my apologies. The broken down vehicle has been moved to the right shoulder, so your lanes are now open. That had caused a little bit of a delay trying to move north into Merrifield from Annandale, headed toward 66. Don't forget, you can always get traffic on the 8s or when it breaks by tuning into 103.5 FM, WTOP.
Good morning. Coming up next on Good Morning America, disaster in the sky. We'll have the latest on the drama at the crash site, including where the missile came from and who fired it. From D.C. to Ukraine, we have full team coverage this morning, next on GMA. Okay, Amy, thank you. But at 6:53, it is time for the Monday Express.
Here's what you need to know before you go this morning. Today, the D.C. area will have a chance to leave condolences for some of the victims of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17. Starting at 10 o'clock this morning, visitors will be able to sign a condolence registry at the Dutch Embassy. 193 Dutch citizens were among the 298 people killed when that plane was shot down last week.
A hiker in Frederick County is hospitalized this morning after he was bitten by a snake. It happened in Cunningham Falls State Park near Thurmont. It's not clear what kind of snake bit the hiker. The park is home to rattlesnakes and copperheads, though, and both are poisonous.
And we just got an update on that missing woman in Alexandria we told you about a few minutes ago. Alexandria police say she has been found.
Now for a live roundup of today's top stories.
We begin with John Gonzalez, and he is riding the Metro. John?
We are literally, ladies, riding the Metro this morning. We are on an Orange Line train. Try not to fall over as we are live. We are headed back out to Vienna, and I can tell you there will be delays today on this Orange Line and the Blue Line of about 8 to 12 minutes because fewer trains are running on these lines because the Silver Line is running today only for employees. They're running a simulation test run today and for the rest of the week before this, well, much anticipated Silver Line finally opens to the public on Saturday. Jeanette?
Well, Johnny, the final hurdle for that proposed casino here at National Harbor. In just a few hours, the Prince George's County Council is expected to vote on something regarding the land use here. If that vote goes through, construction could begin as soon as next month. And if everything else goes as planned, the grand opening is set for July of 2016. Brian?
All right, thanks so much. Outside this morning, we have a couple of sprinkles, but not much to ruin any morning plans as we go through the day. Temperatures, I think, will peak in the mid-80s. We'll have clouds and a little bit of sunshine here and there, much like the weekend. All in all, not a bad day. Isolated sprinkle this morning and an isolated chance of a shower later this afternoon, but even that, I think, will be few and far between and mainly west of town. Big story is traffic, Jack.
Sure is, Brian. Coming south in Maryland on 270, the accident activity at 109 has been contained to the shoulder. News Chopper 7 continues the flight of watching the slow traffic, trying to move all the way from Frederick, headed down toward 109. Newest problem now is along Canal Road at Foxhall Road. A vehicle not supposed to be there, facing the wrong direction, trying to go against traffic. That's never good. Hopefully he can be cleared out. You see him out of the car in the grass. Apparently he is broken down. This has caused a delay coming inbound on Canal. Never a good scene there. Not good to see. Autria, back into you.
Not a way to start the work week, Jack. All right, thank you. Well, here's something to put a smile on your face. Take a look at this picture of Britain's Prince George. He is preparing to celebrate his first birthday tomorrow. The young prince is the first child of Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton. This photo was taken during the future king's recent visit to the Natural History Museum in London. And he's already off and going on those 2 feet.
Still waiting on my invite. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, this is some video of men acting like babies, you could say. It was at a ballpark, and it was all over a baseball.
Of course it was over baseball. 2 men battled it out for Torrey Hunter's home run ball. There's the hit, and into the stands it goes. This is in the 4th inning of the Tigers-Indian game. Well, hold on to it. Just keep holding on.
Oh, man, that other guy's a little bigger.
Ultimately, the home team's fan won and walked away with the ball.
I think he got out in front of that one first.
Yeah. Man, leave him alone.
The other dude was big, though.
You don't mess with a Detroit fan, though.
This is true. Outside weather-wise today, much like the weekend, just an isolated shower chance, mid-80s, a little warmer by the middle of the week.
Beautiful.
Okay, Brian, thank you, and thank you for joining us. GMA coming up next.
We'll see you right back here in 25 minutes with another news update. Have a great day.